What's your joy ratio of late? Are you joyful or joy less? Take a breath to think about where and how much joy you are experiencing. Are you satisfied with your ratio? Today, I want you to ponder how joy works for you. What you can do to hit a tipping point where you just tip right over into joy full. I hope for you to walk away with insight and action that will create a measurable increase of joy-filled moments. This is The Growth Moment with your coach, Amy Kay. Inspiration, ideas, and incredible insights for you to be more and do more. Get ready to grow today. Joy has been on my mind. It's been a coaching topic with one of my extremely high-achieving and hardworking clients. She was stumped by the question, what brings you joy? Not just fulfillment or satisfaction or relaxation, but real deal joy. I'm talking about great pleasure and happiness. Delighted, moved, elated. No doubt, part of the "I've got nothing" response was due to my client's level of overwork and overwhelm at the time. But it was also a lack of attention or introspection on the nature of joy for her. So it got me thinking about the nature of joy generally. Is it generated by external factors? Or do we all have the same innate capacity for joy? Nature or nurture? Can we just decide to be joyful? Or do we need to purposefully develop our joy muscles? Do you know how joy works for you? This is our playground today. We get to explore joy and see what we come up with. This is more of a thinking or pondering episode than a tool. But you might want to grab something to take a few notes or just listen and let your mind percolate. Off we go. So what does joy feel like for you? How would you describe it? Part of the dictionary definition is great or deep pleasure or happiness. Joy is supposed to go beyond just smiley or generally happy. I think of it as that chest-filling feeling. More of something flooding into me, where my breathing changes. It almost stops me in my tracks. Synonyms for joy include delight, bliss, elation, jubilation, but I don't want to project anyone's description for joy, just for you to contemplate your definition. See if you can hone in on what joy feels like for you, so we know where we are aiming. Now, as you tune into your feeling of joy, what brings you that feeling? When was the last time you experienced joy? Imagine you've been keeping a joy journal and capturing all the details about people, places, activities, events, or environments where you find it. What would be first on the list? You can pause the audio and make a quick list right now, or just do one in your head. See if you can find a few examples, and note the details. What do you take from your list? What insight does it bring about the nature of joy for you? For me, I was absolutely joyful earlier this week. A 4-night getaway to Monterey, California with my husband. There were so many moments. Watching blue-green glass waves crash into the rocky shore. It was that chest-filling feeling. A catch in my breath of just, wow. I wasn't thinking of anything else. Enraptured with the colors, sounds, and smells. Another moment was unexpectedly discovering a jazz blues jam at a pub. The spontaneous, sure, let's go in and listen, and then grabbed by the creativity, improvisation, freedom, and energy of the musicians. They were joyful. We were joyful. And a quieter moment. Sitting after breakfast, taking time for another pot of tea, watching the birds and seals out the window. I would say I was suffused with joy, a more peaceful, grateful, calming sensation, like letting out a deep breath. So, is my joy all externally generated? Do I need to be on vacation to tip into joy? I think the environment does matter for me. Monterey is my happy place. I love everything about it. And the extra space, leisure, and permission of vacation certainly makes it easier. But I'm fundamentally unwilling to consign joy to rare or highly curated life moments. I want more of an internal locus of control for joy. How can I have many moments? What do you think? What are you learning so far about your joy nature and nurture? How do you want joy to work for you? When we come back, let's talk about what blocks or limits your joy. What blocks or limits your joy? I asked one client who would not be considered particularly joyful. He said he hadn't ever thought about it, but after pondering came up with, the world can be a dark and dangerous place. It somehow feels irresponsible to just be joyful. I feel that I have to stay vigilant. I think that's a very powerful insight into the nature of his joy. There are some similarities for me, not so much dark and dangerous, but I tend towards serious, deep thinking. Positive overall, but perhaps not especially aimed towards joy. I also, for sure, get blocked by my inner critic. It has a firm rule that I only get to have joy maybe after I finish everything on my list, which of course is never ending. The finish line always gets pushed out. Joy is a reward instead of part of the process. So my contemplation right now is giving me joy clues. I might need to put joy on the list, to have a specific joy goal. And no big surprise, the inner critic needs to go if I want to dial up my joy ratio. What insights are bubbling up for you? What blocks or narrows your capacity for joy? Is it environmental or more inner critic based? Perhaps outer critics or party poopers have impact. Is it a self-permission thing? Or are you already a phenomenal joy experiencer? One of my favorite people is joy personified to me. He is the kind of guy that when you are out for a walk, he is looking around, pointing out the wonder and beauty, gratitude and appreciation radiating off of him. For me, he is a joy amplifier. When I asked him for his secret, he said, I think it's a combination of nature and nurture. On my best days, I'm the only thing getting in the way of joy. Like most things, it's a practice. Figuring out what I can and can't control and adjusting my expectations accordingly. In fact, letting go of expectations generally is part of the practice. That inspires me. Acceptance of what is makes room for joy. I've witnessed his practice, how he chooses to find joy in every kind of moment. Think of someone you know who is joyful. An adult or perhaps a child. Children, puppies, kittens, baby goats, they are joy machines. What is their secret? What can you learn? Go ask some people, make your own observations, Add it to your joy insights. This week, I've been randomly asking people about joy. During a marvelous spa massage while in Monterey, I asked my masseuse and wise woman, what helps you tip into joy? She paused, shared that it had been a tough year, and she might not have any good examples. But in the next instant, her eyes lit up and she said, "Seen the new moon rise last night." I love that. The mere act of asking the question, pointing the mind towards joy, revealed a gem. What is your new moon rising? Keep adding thoughts to your list and notes. Now, lean back and review what you have. What do you know so far about how joy works for you? A big realization for me today is that I chose the Monterey trip. I instigated it at a time that theoretically was way too busy for such adventures. And I chose Monterey specifically just because I love it and wanted to experience that environment. There was no other, quote, good reason. In retrospect, I absolutely chose joy. I want loads of joy for you. I am challenging you to own your joy. Like owning and leading your health or your wealth or career. Take responsibility. Start a joy practice. You can keep a joy journal. Continue to add to your knowledge. Set a goal, track your joy, and keep score. Be a joy seeker or strategist. Write a joy permission slip. Permission to tip, slide, slip, soar, sink, and step into joy. Bottom line, I ask you to commit to taking action, a very next step. I hope part of your growth moment today is knowing that joy isn't just a random occurrence, that you have agency and accountability for your joy. And I hope we did create a tipping point for you to experience many joy-filled moments. I'm always here to partner, whether it's one-on-one private coaching or joining one of my coaching groups or workshops. Find all the episodes on thegrowthmoment.com and subscribe, follow on your favorite podcast app and on my YouTube channel. Now get out there and grow today.